My name is Layla Thomas, and I was 32 years old when my life fell apart and then came back together in ways I never imagined. It was supposed to be the trip that would change everything for the better. I had been working for months to secure this contract with a major company that would bring financial security to our family. My husband Mike always complained about money. "We never have enough," he would say. "When will things get better?" I promised him they would, and this deal was going to be the proof. I kissed Mike goodbye at the airport. "Just 3 days," I told him. "When I come back, I'll have amazing news." He smiled, but there was something off about it. I ignored the feeling. I was focused on the meetings ahead, the presentations I had prepared, the future I was building for us. The business trip went even better than I had hoped. The company loved my proposal. They wanted to sign right away, offering a 5-year contract that would triple my income. I couldn't wait to tell Mike. I tried calling him that night, but he didn't answer. I figured he was busy or asleep. I'd surprise him with the news when I got home. I caught an earlier flight back, wanting to celebrate. The house was quiet when I arrived. It was only 2 in the afternoon, so I didn't expect Mike to be home from work yet. I went upstairs to unpack and freshen up. That's when I heard it, the shower running in our bathroom. Maybe Mike had come home early too? I smiled, thinking about surprising him. I opened the bathroom door, and through the steam and glass of the shower door I saw them. My husband and my sister Natalie. Together. In our shower. In our home. For a moment I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. I just stood there, my suitcase still in hand, watching as they noticed me. Their faces changed from shock to guilt in an instant. "Layla." Mike jumped, reaching for a towel. "You're early. How could you?" My voice sounded strange, like it belonged to someone else. "With my sister?" Natalie couldn't even look at me. She was 3 years younger than me, my only sister. The person I had protected all our lives after our parents died. The person I had invited to stay with us 2 months ago when she lost her job. "Layla, please, it's not what you think," Mike started with that old, tired line. "Not what I think?" I laughed, but it sounded more like crying. "You're in the shower with my sister. What exactly should I think?" They both started talking at once. Excuses, apologies, explanations. I didn't want to hear any of it. I turned around and walked out of the bathroom, out of the bedroom, back downstairs. They followed, hastily dressed, still wet from the shower. "Layla, please listen," Mike begged. "It just happened. It didn't mean anything." "It didn't mean anything?" I repeated. "My sister and my husband betraying me doesn't mean anything?" Natalie was crying now. "I'm so sorry, Layla. We never meant to hurt you." "How long?" I asked. They looked at each other, and I had my answer. This wasn't the first time. "How long?" I asked again, louder. "Since she moved in," Mike admitted. "But Layla, I love you. This was just a mistake. A mistake that had been happening for 2 months. While I worked late preparing for the biggest opportunity of my career. While I worried about our future. While I tried to help my sister get back on her feet. I want both of you out of my house," I said. "Your house." Mike looked shocked. "This is our house. You can't just kick me out." "Watch me," I said. Then I did something they didn't expect. I called Mike's parents. Mike's parents, Robert and Susan, had always treated me like a daughter. They were good people who raised Mike with strong values. Values he clearly forgot. They lived just 20 minutes away and had given us the down payment for our house as a wedding gift. "Susan," I said when she answered, "I need you and Robert to come over right now. It's important." Mike tried to grab the phone. "What are you doing? Don't involve my parents." But it was too late. Susan had heard enough in his reaction to know something was wrong. "We'll be right there," she said. The wait was awful. Mike and Natalie kept trying to talk to me, to explain, to make me understand. I sat on the couch, silent, the contract papers from my trip still in my bag. When Robert and Susan arrived, they could tell immediately that something terrible had happened. Susan took one look at my face and sat beside me, her arm around my shoulders. "What's going on?" Robert asked, looking between the 3 of us. "I came home early from my business trip," I said, my voice surprisingly steady. "I found Mike and my sister Natalie in the shower together." The silence that followed was deafening. Susan's arm tightened around me. Robert's face turned red as he looked at his son. Is this true? He demanded. Mike couldn't lie to his father. He nodded, eyes on the floor. How could you do this? Susan asked, her voice breaking. To Layla? After everything. What followed was one of the hardest conversations of my life. Robert and Susan were devastated. They had always loved me, had always been proud of how hard I worked, how much I loved their son. They couldn't understand how Mike could betray that love, that trust. We raised you better than this, Robert told Mike. The house was our gift to both of you, Susan added. But it was meant for a marriage built on respect and love. In the end, Robert and Susan made the decision that shocked everyone. Mike, you'll come stay with us for now, Robert said. Natalie, you need to find somewhere else to go. This house belongs to Layla. Mike protested, of course. You can't do that. My name is on the deed too. Actually, Robert said, when we gave you the down payment, we had our lawyer draw up papers. The house reverts to the faithful spouse if infidelity breaks the marriage. We never thought we'd need that clause, but here we are. I hadn't known about this. Through my pain, I felt a rush of gratitude for these people who had become my family when I had none left of my own. Mike and Natalie left that day. Mike to his parents' house, Natalie to a friend's. I was alone in the home that was now truly mine. That night I cried until I had no tears left. I mourned the marriage I thought I had, the sister I thought I knew, the future I had planned. But morning came as it always does. And with it, I remembered the contract in my bag, the reason I had gone on the trip in the first place. I took out the papers and looked at the numbers again. This contract would change everything for me. Not for us anymore, for me. I signed the final page and emailed a scan to the company. It was official. The next few weeks were hard. I filed for divorce. I changed the locks on the house. I ignored the calls and texts from both Mike and Natalie. I focused on my work, on the new project, on rebuilding my life. 6 months passed. The divorce was finalized. My work with the new client was going better than anyone expected. I had paid off the remaining mortgage on the house with my new income. I had started therapy, started healing. Then came the company's annual gala. As the lead on their biggest new project, I was invited to attend. I bought a new dress. Red, bold, nothing like what I would have worn when I was married to Mike. I had my hair and makeup done professionally. When I looked in the mirror, I barely recognized myself. I looked stronger, more confident. I looked happy. The gala was held at the most expensive hotel in the city. Everyone who was anyone would be there. I wasn't thinking about that when I accepted the invitation. I was thinking about celebrating my professional success, about acknowledging how far I had come. I didn't expect to see Mike there. But there he was, working as a server for the catering company. Our eyes met across the room as he offered champagne to the guests. The glass in his hand trembled slightly. Later, during a break in the festivities, he approached me. Layla, he said, his voice quiet. You look amazing. Thank you, I replied coolly. I heard about your success, he continued. Everyone's talking about it. The contract, the project. You're the star of the company now. I nodded. It's been a good year. Professionally, at least. He winced at that. I'm sorry, he said. I know I've said it before, but I am so sorry for what I did. Where's Natalie now? I asked, not really wanting to know but needing to. I don't know, he admitted. It didn't last. It wasn't real. What I felt for her. It wasn't anything compared to what I threw away with you. I looked at him, this man I had loved, this man who had broken my heart. He looked smaller somehow, diminished. He had lost his job at the bank, his parents told me that much. He had moved into a small apartment after staying with them became too uncomfortable. And now he was serving drinks at the very event celebrating my success. I made the biggest mistake of my life, he said. I know you'll never forgive me, but I wanted you to know that I see it now. What I lost. Who I lost. For a moment I felt a flicker of satisfaction. This was what I had fantasized about in my darkest moments. Mike realizing what he had thrown away, regretting his choices while I thrived. But the reality felt hollow. His pain didn't heal mine. His regret didn't undo the betrayal. I have to get back, I said. My team is waiting. As I walked away, I heard him say, You deserve all of this, Layla. You always did. I rejoined my colleagues, pushed thoughts of Mike aside, and focused on celebrating our success. Later that night, the CEO called me to the stage and announced my promotion to Vice President of Operations. The crowd applauded. My team cheered. Across the room, Mike watched, still holding his tray of empty glasses. 2 weeks after the gala, I received a letter from Natalie. She was living in another state now, had a new job, was trying to build a new life. Her letter was full of apologies, explanations, regrets. She said she missed me, that losing me as her sister was the worst consequence of her terrible choice. I wasn't ready to forgive her. Maybe I never would be. But I did reply, a short note acknowledging her letter and wishing her well. It wasn't much, but it was all I could offer then. A year passed. Then another. My career continued to flourish. I dated occasionally but wasn't in a hurry to get serious with anyone. I had learned to enjoy my independence, my success, my peaceful home. I ran into Mike's mother Susan at the grocery store one day. She hugged me tight. "We've missed you," she said. "You'll always be family to us, you know that, right?" I did know. They had stood by me when their own son had wronged me. They had chosen what was right over what was easy. They had shown me what real family could be. "How is he?" I found myself asking. "Better," she said. "He's back in school studying to be a teacher. He's growing up finally. Too late for you two, I know. But at least he's learning from his mistakes." I nodded, glad to hear it, but no longer invested in Mike's journey. My own path had taken me so far from where we started, from the life we had planned together. As for Natalie, we exchange emails now. Brief, careful conversations about safe topics. It's not the close relationship we once had. That trust was broken. But it's something, a fragile bridge being built slowly over the chasm of betrayal. Sometimes I think about that trip, the one that was supposed to change our family's life. It did change everything, just not in the way I had expected. That contract didn't save my marriage. Nothing could have, given what was happening behind my back. But it did give me the freedom to walk away, to build something new from the ashes of my old life. At 35 now, 3 years after everything fell apart, I can finally say I'm grateful. Not for the betrayal. That will always be a scar I carry. But for what came after. For the strength I found in myself. For the career I built with my own talents and hard work. For the peaceful home that is truly mine. For the life I never would have discovered if I had stayed in a marriage built on lies. That contract didn't just change my financial situation. It changed me. It gave me the power to walk away and the foundation to build something better. Something true. And that's the biggest shock of all. That sometimes the worst betrayal can lead to the best beginning. That sometimes you have to lose everything you thought you wanted to find what you actually need. Thank you for listening. If you think I made a decision, please kindly leave a comment down below. And do not forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more of this content coming your way.